Beef. You know what? I have some one-sided beefs as well. I have to be honest. Some of my beefs are more one-sided than others. This is a one-sided beef. I don't like Ryan Clark. I'm sure he doesn't like me either, but he conceals it pretty good. Number 28 on the beef list, Ryan Clark. Now, Ryan is the former Pittsburgh Steeler NFL football player who has transitioned into an Emmy Award-winning broadcaster for ESPN. He's not an Emmy Award-winning broadcaster. He's received an Emmy, but that's a gift because of his promotion of racial idolatry. He's been given an Emmy. But what I will give Ryan Clark credit for, he has the discipline to really not let my name come out of his mouth. Hats off to him. And so this is more of a one-sided beef. I don't like Ryan Clark. I don't like, and this really started, he got on my radar 2-3 years ago when he went on ESPN and told a story about some random white woman allegedly calling his son the N-word through a drive-through, fast food drive-through, McDonald's somewhere. She drove by and allegedly said the N-word, and somehow this story is being unpacked on ESPN, and Ryan Clark breaks down in tears. And I'm like, holy cow. So a woman your son doesn't know drives by in a car, shouts the N-word at your son, and you're on TV crying about it. This is a gimmick. This is a script. This is a psyop. What are we doing here? What man that played football at the way that Ryan Clark played football, very physical, unafraid, no victims, is on TV crying because his son got called a name by some white woman his son don't know, Ryan Clark don't know? It's nothing. And so Ryan Clark put on that victim costume that they require all black people in corporate media to put on. You must see yourself as a victim, and every random white person is capable of killing you and preventing you from achieving your goals. And oh my God, one of the white gods sent from heaven called my son a name. Let me go on TV and cry about it. Yeah, that made me not like Ryan Clark. And it made me aware of like, oh, this is the path he's gonna go down. I have to stand up and say something and put a stop to it. But let's play the Ryan Clark crying clip just to get you all the way up to speed.
Black man, you can't walk up to cars. You can't wave down cars with white people in it because your life is not of value to all of them. And so I'm blessed that my child is still here. It's something would have happened to him, it would have broke me. And so for me, I got to do a better job of educating him, and I got to protect him because I wouldn't know how to live if he wouldn't have made it out. And so thank you for everybody that reached out to me. And I know it's getting better, but it's not better yet, and better for everybody. And we just got to keep, staying together, man, and just doing what we can.
How do you do that? How does a grown man go on TV? I'm just glad that my son made it out. I mean, when that white woman called him a name, he could have died. He could have died. What are they paying these people? What are they paying them? It must be billions of dollars and 12 virgins in heaven. It's got to be the complete package. to get people to make this kind of fool of themselves. Ryan Clark, what are you doing? And that's at the beginning, and this is how you get an Emmy. This is how you build a resume to where the puppet masters, the people in control of TV, the people in control of black people's image, they pay men to bend over and sell themselves out and take on a very feminine persona and go on national TV and cry because your son was called a name by a random. And I'm like, this isn't even a story I would tell. I mean, anybody that watches the show has heard me tell the story about being a football player in Muncie, Indiana, and some people riding by and shouting the N-word at me and my boy, and we hopped out of the car ready to fight. And I told my boy, I didn't know it. I didn't know it. It shocked me. My boy hops out, pops the trunk of his car, and next thing you know, he's holding a Uzi. And I'm like, holy cow, what is going on? Boy, dude, what are you doing? This is a little bit of an overreaction, and why you got this gun? The whole nine. But that story, I didn't tell my father. I didn't tell my mom and daddy. Somebody called me and Tim the N-word. Who does it? Someone called me a name? That's a story to tell? Now look, let's say if my head football coach had called me that, yeah, I would tell. He has some power over me. If one of my teachers called me that, yes, I would tell my parents. I would tell people like, but a person driving by, some idiot that has no say-so, no authority, no ability to harm me, no ability to affect my life. This, at some point, you have to be in control of your emotions, not handing your emotions over to any and everybody. So, and this is so early, 21, I think, is when Ryan Clark did this performance on ESPN, and it alerted me to like, oh, okay, I see where Ryan Clark's gonna go with this. This is his gimmick. He's gonna be the racial guy on ESPN. Everything's racial, and that racial idolatry and victimhood. He's another guy, man, that has raised his hand and said, I will play the role of a victim for a check. And for me, I just sit there and go, what's your relationship like with God? Because, if you have one, you just can't be a victim. And sitting around crying because some idiot called you or your son a name on national TV. Don't do that to your son. Don't do that to other kids' sons. Don't do that to anybody. Don't let them see you like that. Don't let them break you like that. Don't be buck broken. Ryan, number 28 on my beef list.